It is time to create content that sells without selling, so your message pierces the hearts of your audience and makes them feel like buying. Welcome back to part 4 of the video series, Sell Without Selling, where I show you exactly how to create the kind of content that attracts buyers every time. Now, if you have not seen parts 1, 2, or 3, I highly encourage that you watch that so you can get the entire picture. I also have a worksheet for you to download below. It is the aligned messaging worksheet, which will help you align your message to your offer so that way you sell without selling. So let's dive right in. In order for content to sell, you have to move from beyond the head of your audience into their hearts, because people buy because they feel like it. So where is it that people feel? They feel in their hearts. So that means you have to know what's in their heart so that way you can speak to it. And we covered that in part 1 of this video series. So I'm going to give you my RISE method, which is going to help you speak to the hearts of your person, but you gather all that data in videos 1, 2, and 3. So RISE, R-I-S-E. The R stands for relatable experience. You want to intro your content with something that's relatable to your audience, because a lot of what you're teaching and what you help your people with is below the iceberg. But when your audience is scrolling social media, they are only at the top of the iceberg. They're scanning for what is relevant to them, what is relatable to them. So when you have an intro that is a hook, you want to hook people in with what is relevant, with the thing that they're already paying attention to and the thing that they have an awareness of. So your hooks are relatable experiences. Now, this can also be turned into a challenge that they have or a desire that they have. Either way, it is all relatable. And inside of the worksheet, you're going to see exactly what I mean and how to use these hooks to be able to attract your audience and make your sales. So I in RISE is identity shift. Now, who does your audience need to be in order to achieve the results that they desire to achieve? It's not just about the tangible things that your audience desire to achieve. They also have to believe that they can do it. And not only that they can do it, but that they're going to be able to do it with you. So you want to have some belief and perspective shift as a part of your content so that they can understand who it is they need to become in order to achieve that kind of result. Because if you're only creating content that talks about logic and talks about tips and tricks, but you're never actually talking about who someone needs to be and the shift that they need to make in their identity, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, because it's easy for someone to Google search or just look at someone else's content to get tips and tricks. But when it comes to truly captivating your audience and pulling them in and drawing them in so that they truly desire to buy and desire to buy from you, you want to create that identity shift, because when you do that, you're tapping into the parts of them that already believe they can, but might still have some doubt or some fears creeping in. So when your audience, or so when your content taps on your audience's heart to remind them of who they are, to remind them of what they said they wanted, now you're pulling your audience in. You're creating a magnet towards you because you're making them believe in themselves. Not just believe in you and believe in your offer, but you're making them believe in themselves. The person who makes people believe in themselves will always win, because you understand the person, which is an entire part of creating really effective content, is understanding who you are talking to. And as I said before, I went over that in part 1. So make sure you really watch that, because part 1 is the foundation for how to actually use this RISE method effectively. Okay, the S stands for simple solution. Keep it super simple here. Either you're going to give your person a tip, a trick, a hack. This is where you can also position the belief shift that you want your audience to now adopt, or a new perspective shift that they need to adopt. But what is the solution that they need in order to achieve the relatable experience, in order to achieve that result that you opened up with in your hook? That simple solution ties back. And when you download the messaging worksheet, you'll actually see how to use your framework and your content angles to use this RISE method effectively. it works every single time because what you're doing is not just delivering information, you're actually creating transformation, and your audience is feeling transformed as they look at your content, as they watch you on video. If they're already feeling a transformation on the inside from your content alone, they have no choice but to pay you. They have no choice but to want to see what it is you have to offer because they're like, I feel so good watching this person and listening to what this person shares. I need more of it. So, your simple solution is all about something that they can now implement, something that they can now see differently. You're basically getting them to rotate their head to see something differently than they have been able to see before. This is also the place where you get to show them that what they are doing, whatever solution that they're doing now, why it's not working. Now, maybe your person isn't doing anything to get the result. Maybe they're just in straight up avoidance. Maybe they're in a place in their life where they say that they want whatever result, but they're actually avoiding taking any kind of action. Well, you want to be able to show them why being in this state of avoidance is not a good thing and not going to help them get towards their goal. And depending on your audience, maybe they don't even realize that they're in avoidance. I know that's sometimes the case with some of my clients is that they don't realize that they're in a state of avoidance because they're taking so much action that they don't think there's anything that they are avoiding. But when we dive deeper, we start to uncover the different parts that they are avoiding. So, this is what I mean when I say understand who you're talking to, understand what it is that is truly in their heart and the way that they are operating right now. Because if you know how they operate, then you know what buttons you need to push and how to position and convey your content so that way they see themselves in it. And then whatever it is they think they're doing right now in order to achieve results, now you get to position why that isn't the case in order to help them get results. Like why what they're doing now isn't actually helping them. And then the E in rise is for emotional pull. You want to get clear on what is the emotion that your audience is in right now that they want to move away from, and what is the emotion that they want to move toward. This is a very really essential, critical, like pertinent part of content is understanding the emotion. Because at the beginning of this, I said people buy because they feel like it. Feelings are emotions. And so you got to be able to tap on the walls of their heart of where they feel things. You got to break down the walls of their logical mind by getting into their heart. So when you can clearly define where they are emotionally and where they desire to go emotionally, wrap that into a little bit of logic, then you're going to be able to create that pathway and position your offer now to be sold. The message is carrying your offer. Your message is actually positioning your offer to be sold. Too many people are just creating content that tries to sell something and they're trying to just sell their offer, and their audience is like, okay, that's great, but they're not feeling like you really hear them. They're not feeling like you understand what their actual problem is. So you want to understand, or you want to show them that you do understand them. You want to show them very clearly, hey, I get you. Either I was you or I've worked with clients that are very similar. It's got to be a demonstration of your ability to serve. So when you can talk about the emotion that they are also feeling, now they're really going to feel seen, heard, and understood. Emotional pull is so essential only because it allows your audience to it allows your audience to know that you actually see them. And that is the entire point. They don't want to buy an offer. They actually want to be seen. And when they feel seen, now they're willing to buy. Now their desire to buy something is actually activated. And this also works even if people consume your content and they don't buy right away. This is the kind of content that attracts a buyer. And I said before that a buyer isn't someone who just consumes and buys right away, but you're attracting people who actually desire to invest in themselves and invest in a solution. They're not just looking for free tips and free tricks. They actually desire to make a buying decision, and making this kind of content helps them make a buying decision with you. So they don't just consume whatever it is you have and then go off and buy someone else's stuff. You help them by understanding that, hey, I get you. And now they're inside of your content ecosystem. When they're inside of your content ecosystem, they're starting to feel more seen, more heard, and more understood because you're using the RISE method and always pulling in on that emotion that makes them really desire that thing, and you're connecting it to their actual solution, whatever their relatable experience is that they want to have, whatever their result is. That is where you're pulling it in. But using the RISE method helps you to solve their micro problems. In the last video, I shared with you how to create your signature framework. And then underneath each of those steps are these micro steps, these micro problems that your audience has. Well, this RISE method actually helps you to solve those micro problems. So this then becomes your different content angles that you're using the RISE method with. If what I'm saying to you does not make sense, it's because you have not watched part 1, 2, and 3 or downloaded your worksheet. So make sure you do that. So this wraps a very sweet bow around it all. So I'm so glad that you enjoyed the Selling Without Selling video series. This is all about creating legacy content, the kind of content that you create one time, but continues to sell your offers over and over and over again without feeling salesy, icky, or feeling weird. You get to be authentic and aligned with your message. I will also pop a link down below as well for us to work together more intimately. There are a couple of ways for us to do that. But I trust that you enjoyed this series, and I will see you all in another video. Bye.